everyone. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And today, what we're going to be talking about is basically something called the $1 Million Marketing Ascension Pyramid. I'm having a lot of coaching, coaching in the background. I have something called the CMO Circle, $1 Million Marketing. And this is something that I'm teaching. And the reason that I'm bringing it up here today is because not only does it have to do with marketing, it has to do with your real estate investing business. You can take this pyramid and put it in any department, and it will work to help and grow that department, let alone your whole business. So it's important for you to kind of look at, how do you ascend from overwhelmed, not confident, not knowing, fearful, real estate investor who's treating this business like a hobby and not a business, to confident chief marketing, president of the company, director, head of. See how that sounds different? One of the things that we talked about this week in my CMO Circle was very plainly like, what is the difference between real estate investors and real estate entrepreneurs? And it comes down to, are you working in your business or are you working on your business? And as far as real estate entrepreneurship is concerned, you own real estate businesses, right? So when you look at someone who's, at what we're just talking about, right? A confident, somebody who's treating their business like a business and acting like the head of their company, the founder of their company, the owner of the company, the chief of their company, you look at them and, you see that they have control over their business. Their business works for them. That's the difference between real estate entrepreneurship, having control over your real estate business or businesses versus being a real estate investor and working in your business. And of course, you're going to have a huge season of working in your business and building. But there's a difference between building your business, which takes time. This is not a, get rich quick thing. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? There's going to be huge seasons, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years of building your wealth, plus 15 years, some people 30 years of building your business, versus in your business. If you're doing the administrative things every single day, last week we talked about, what it means to be successful. What does that mean in terms of your time? Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. How are you using your time to be a real estate entrepreneur? Not just a real estate investor who's actually an administrative assistant, right, to yourself. So let's kind of break this down. So this is kind of, what I came up with, a methodology, framework, roadmap, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it an ascension pyramid because I like the visual of just kind of the steps you need to take to start treating your business like a business. And I'm going to talk about the marketing department specifically in this case. Again, you can take this pyramid and implement it in every single one of your departments and your business as a whole. But it's important that you don't miss any of these steps when you're building your business, okay? So let's just go through it. The first thing, the foundation of your business is simply your mindset. You had a calling to be in real estate, to be a real estate investor, but what does that really mean? What do you know what that means? Again, we talk about words like entrepreneurship, investors, your own business, business owner, right? But that, when you're getting into the game, you have to have a solid foundation and reality of what that means. If you think this is a flip this house show and you're going to do something in, you're going to flip something, in 30 days and look at what I call the TV numbers, which is, okay, I bought it for 100, I put 50 in it and I sold it for 200. I made $50,000. No. Minus holding costs. They don't talk about the holding costs, right? So there's a lot more to it. It's not a get rich quick. So your mindset has to be in good working order in terms of, getting into this business. I'm talking right now as a whole. But let's talk about specifically in your marketing department. Do you know the definition of marketing? Most people do not have something called marketing skills because they have never learned the marketing anything. They haven't gone to school for marketing. They've never been in a marketing position. They've never had to generate leads, and that's okay. That's normal, right? Because you've never done it. The great thing is that you can learn this side of the business. Not only can you learn this side of the business, the cool thing about this side of the business is that it is easy to learn. And once you start building your systems, it's easy to plug in people to work your marketing department. There's parts of your marketing department that you'll never outsource, like networking, looking for new opportunities, speaking for your company, PR engagements, events. Those are things you shouldn't be outsourcing. That's something that you as the owner should be doing. But then there's the other side of it, which is like the other 75% of it, which is, it's easy to outsource, getting your direct mail done, making sure your CRM and your database is organized so you can send emails and text out the door, cold calling. You can easily implement people to do that. Social media, right? You can easily have people create content for you. I highly advise you're the face of the company and you're out there talking and learning how to communicate, because that's one of the biggest and best parts of marketing, just selling and telling people, what you do. So as far as your mindset is concerned, it's definitely the root of everything in your business and everything that you're doing. And when it comes to your mindset, you hear the word consistency a lot. I say it all the time. I have a lot of students who come through my doors and they say, Marina, I got one campaign out the door and it just wasn't successful. I sent 200 pieces of mailings and I only got like 3 responses. Okay, let's backtrack. This is a mindset thing because you probably never learned this, right? Number one, sending 200 pieces of mail one time to one list that you select without either guidance, or you're just like, okay, this is a right list for me. I don't know what list you're targeting, right? Getting out 200, that's a low amount. One time, you're not going to, you can't truly measure if something is successful or not if you send something out one time, depending on the specific list, because every list is so different, right? And if the metric is 1 to 3%, a good response rate is 1 to 3% of, you get out 200 pieces of mail and you get 3 calls, 2 calls is 1%. So is that a good response rate? In fact, that's a great campaign. You should continue to do it because you're hitting the 1 to 3% response rate, right? You got 200 out, you got 3 calls, you're hitting the 1 to 3% response rate. I would say, hey, that's a good campaign. I would send it to that person again or that list again because you're hitting the numbers that you need to. And again, most investors don't know that, right? So it's all about getting your mindset and your knowledge, information, and learning the side of the business so you can make good, sound business decisions. Because if you don't know, you will not do better, right? What does Oprah say? When you know better, you do better, right? And marketing is a huge part of that. When you get to know and learn this side of the business, you will absolutely do better. Because once you learn it, you can't unlearn it, which is amazing. All right, and as far as your mindset is concerned, the other huge key element of your mindset is realizing that marketing is not really an expense. It's an investment, right? Why is it an investment? The reason it's an investment is very simply because marketing equals the money side of your business. It's the first domino that falls in your business. If you're not getting motivated sellers to call you or wholesalers to call you or networking to find leads, you're not going to be doing deals. No leads equals no deals. Write that down. So if you're not getting any leads, any deals, you're not making any profit. So therefore, marketing equals the money side of the business. If nobody knows that you exist, then you're not going to be making money. And chances are you didn't get into real estate investing because it sounded fun, right? It's probably because you can make a lot of money and get really wealthy over time, okay? So the reality of the situation is it's an investment. Marketing is an investment in your business. Yes, it's an expense, a front-end expense, but the back end is a huge investment. You think Coca-Cola Doesn't, what do you know about Coca-Cola? They probably have one of the biggest marketing budgets in the world. Same with any big company, right? What do you know about these huge big companies? They have the biggest, baddest marketing budget departments in the world. And the reason they're so big is because they invest in their marketing. And I'm telling you right now that the best real estate investors I know are the best marketers. And the reason they're the best real estate investors is because they learn that side of the business. Okay. So get your mindset in good working order. Realize if you don't know this side of the business that you can learn it. It's easy to learn. It's just going to take time and energy and just learning that side of the business. And then once you learn, you can never unlearn it. You'll learn how to generate leads and then ultimately make a profit. It's the money side of your business, right? So there's so much to say about it. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it too much, but just know that the foundation of becoming a true business owner is absolutely getting your mindset in good working order so you can do the rest of the building. Because if your mindset is not in good working order, you will never. That's where most people get stuck. Most of the newbies, beginners I know, even people who I have known for 5 or 10 years are still stuck in this area right here. Why? Because they have not truly, said, I'm going to take control of my marketing department. Or they're stuck in, I'm doing this one campaign, and they're stunting their growth by not saying, hey, let me add 2 more campaigns. Let me see what that does to my business. The second you get stuck in a certain mindset about your marketing and about what you're not going to do or what you're not going to add, or that only this works or that doesn't work, without actually getting that knowledge, you're going to be stuck here for a long time or forever. Right? Or you're going to be in something called a feast and famine cycle, where you're going to get one deal off one small campaign or campaign that you did. You're going to stop your marketing and you're going to focus on the rehab. 6-7 months later, you're like, gulp, I'm not making as much money on this rehab, but I have nothing else in the pipeline. Right? So it's one of those things where it's something that it's very dangerous to stop your marketing in this business. Okay. And in a market like we're seeing right now, and you have heard me say this since the success webinar I did in January of this year, when there is a market like we have now, you double down on your marketing. You look at your marketing, what's working, what's not working, and you keep revamping it. Okay. There are people who, there was something on the news the other day, like credit card bills are at an all-time high. What does that say to you? There's going to be a tipping point. You think salaries are going up high to make up for all the debt that people are in? No. People are using their credit cards for everything. And that ultimately comes to a head. Okay. So interest rates with credit cards are going up. So that ultimately comes to a head. You want to be the person who's ready, presenting your services in a way so when somebody is ready to work with you, they know that they want to work with you. You're presenting your services in a way, you're out there and you're getting your marketing out the door so people know that you're there to help them find a solution to their home troubles. All right, let's keep it moving. So that's mindset. I can't stress enough how important that's the foundation of this pyramid. So the next natural step is method. What does that simply mean? What systems and tools are you putting in place for your business to become essentially automated, where you can plug anybody in? That's something else that we're learning in the CMO circle right now. Okay. My students have said, Marina, what does your business look like? What are your main systems and tools that you're using to run your real estate investment business? Full disclosure, I only work 4 to 5 hours a day, maybe, in my business, in my real estate investment businesses, because they're so systematized. Okay. Or I have people in the right places doing all the admin work for me. Okay. So the reason systems are so important is because this is going to give you the true freedom to grow. Okay. It's going to give you the true freedom to plug anybody you need into your business at any time. The 3 major systems that we use in our business, and I would write these down: And I am not an overcomplicated real estate investor. Simplicity is what I live on. I don't make things overcomplicated. This is 18 years in the business. These are our 3 main systems that we use. Trello, I would write these down. Trello. We use Google Drive or G Suite, just email, Google Drive, Google Calendar, G Suite. So it's G Suite, Trello, and our CRM, our database. We use Keep. I wouldn't suggest this for real estate investors. There's so many REI specific. I've been using it since 2007. So I've made it into what I want. But those 3 systems are what run my business. They're all web-based. You can work at the office or at home. They all have apps that we can all use on our phone. All of our company information and processes are in those 3 systems. And we all have access to it. And again, like I said, they're all web-based, so you can work anywhere with them, okay? And 3 and 4, you can plug anyone anywhere as well to work for you using these 3 systems. So what happens when you're in the right mindset, but go right to the 3rd level, which is your movement, which is campaigns, okay? What campaigns are you working? If you've been in my group for a while, I have 6 major categories, which are direct mail, email and CRM marketing, free marketing, networking, and website and online marketing, and then finally signage. So those are my 6 major categories, my campaigns that I run. So let me ask you a very simple question here. What happens, and this is very important for you to ask yourself, what happens when you're in the right mindset, but you decide to skip this systems step and go right into your campaigns? You're like, okay, I'm going to get my direct mail out the door. Great, you're getting your direct mail out the door. Then what? When you don't have a system for your direct mail, what's happening? Do you have control over your direct mail campaigns? Probably not, right? This is why this Ascension pyramid is so important. You skip a step, you get stuck. Well, I'll tell you right now what usually happens with this step. When you go from your mindset to just running campaigns, like let me get Craigslist emails out the door, but you don't create a system for the Craigslist email campaign, what happens? When you skip a step, you get stuck. That's the reality of the situation, okay? You skip a step, you get stuck. End of story. So that's why it's imperative when you are building your business. Remember, there are no secrets to success. There are systems to success. Anything that you're doing should have a system. And a lot of times, you just don't know. I understand this. This might be a lot for somebody to be hearing right now. This might be extremely overwhelming to be hearing for somebody. Like, where do I start, Marina, right? You can DM me anytime you want with any personal questions or any help. You can always private message me, get the comments below, whatever it is. But the reality is, you skip a step, you get stuck. And I have seen investors get stuck in this step right here, where they don't have systems, but they're running campaigns, and they get stuck working in their businesses because they have no systems or processes. And they're in this feast and famine cycle, what I was describing to you earlier, because they're not creating systems. Again, read the E-Myth by Michael Gerber. If you don't know how systems work or why they're important, read the E-Myth, Michael Gerber. Just drop what you're doing, go read the book. The reason McDonald's right now is robotic and can serve you with AI and robots is because their systems are so streamlined that they don't need people. That's like ultimate systems. I don't agree with AI replacing people. I'll never agree to that. That's not okay. Just for humanity, that's a whole different issue. I believe in AI as a great tool, but I don't believe in completely replacing people for sure. But anyways, but why are they able to do that? Why is McDonald's the first company that is able to do that? Because they have some of the best systems in the world. As a business owner now, and I wouldn't recommend you call yourself an entrepreneur until you have systems that are running in your business. As of right now, you're probably a real estate investor working in your business, some of you. But if you're starting to use systems and create systems, that's when you can start saying, okay, that's my entrepreneur, that's what you should really be working, at. All the systems that you can implement in your business that you can start plugging people in. All right, so let's keep moving. So you have your mindset in order. You're in the systems mindset, and you realize, okay, every single part of my business needs a processee. It doesn't have to be complicated. The thing is, people make systems very complicated. They're not. It's simply breaking down a task in steps. If I were to describe something, it is basically breaking down, one of your business tasks, right? Let's just put direct mail as a example, right? You're getting an absentee direct mail campaign out the door, right? How do you create a system around that? You start breaking it into steps, and then you ask yourself, what tools do I need to get this campaign in order that somebody can easily go through these steps to get this campaign out the door so you can do what? Make money, right? That's the ultimate system, a processee that makes you money. That's like the ultimate thing for systems. It's something that ultimately makes you money. And this is why this is so important, the next step. So anyways, so systems, in turn, you get your mindset in order, you have your systems, you're building your systems, you are trying to streamline your systems. And here's the thing, I'm going to tell you something right now. Most people don't create systems because it's too much work and they're lazy. I hate to say this, but I've been a coach for 18 years. They just want to skip that step. Okay? There's no magic pill. There's tools you can get. There's mentors. There's systems you can buy. But as far as you creating something yourself, there is no magic pill that does it for you. You have to build your business. Yes, what speeds up your business building? Investing in buying parts of your business? Absolutely. Or learning from other people successfully who have been there before you? Yeah. That's why a lot of people are, charge money for their business, because they have something, a specialized training system, processee, that a lot of people have not figured out how to do, or will save people time that other people want, okay? That will solve a problem for somebody else. That they spend, like my systems are 18-year-old systems. Not only did I create systems for myself, I was an employee who created systems, who then that employer took those systems and are selling the systems I helped create to thousands of people, okay? So once you create a system, you can't uncreate it, okay? Well, you can always make it better, okay? But anyways, get your systems in order, start building, start with, okay, how can I simplify my tasks and create a step-by-step processee where my 8-year-old daughter could follow these directions and do this specific task, and just go through all the bullets or all the numbers and get this task done, okay? All right, next, movement. What does that mean? It's what we talked about, the Defnos campaign. In this marketing, in the specific marketing department, you have your mindset, you have your systems and tools, and then finally you have your campaigns that you're getting out the door. Like I told you earlier, your direct mail, you could have 10 direct mail campaigns going out the door, email, postcards, letters, flyers, whatever it is with direct mail. You have door hangers, whatever it is. There's so many things that you could be doing with direct mail for specific target lists, right? Email and CRM, one of the most powerful things to connect. What is one of the most powerful things in your business? And again, this is all high level stuff that I'm talking about here, okay? It's your list. If you are to sell your business, the number one thing a savvy buyer will look at is your list. That's another thing that I teach in my CMO circle. Your list. Is your list organized? Are you emailing to your list? Do they know who you are? Are you nurturing them? Forget just even just a monthly newsletter, but like, are you getting out email campaigns, like probate attorney email campaigns, realtor campaigns, email campaigns? There's so many follow-up texting campaigns that you could be running. Having customer relationship management database CRM, customer relationship management, that's what it means, is such a powerful tool at your disposal. That's another thing that I think that, real estate investors aren't marrying. And I like to say marrying enough, because once you find a good CRM that works for you, you definitely get married to it. It's really hard to separate after you figure out and, use a good CRM that works for your business. So, and then there's free marketing, right? So many free marketing campaigns, Craigslist, Zillow. I had an implementation class one day and I sent out 2 emails and I got 1 response back within 24 hours. It was like to landlords on Zillow, and I got a response back right away. I also showed on the implementation call, I also showed them online marketing, how to try to find private money. And I raised, just from showing my students how to post, within by the end of that week, I actually had raised $100,000 randomly just by that post that I showed my students. So it works, right? And I have a system behind it that I showed my students, but that's the next step in your ascension. It's, your lead generation. You have your mindset in order, you're getting your systems, you're building your systems, and then you're starting to generate leads with your marketing campaigns, okay? And that's something that's the fun part of the business. It might be fun for some people, not fun for others. It might be tedious. You might not know where to start, but that's my favorite part of the business, other than getting a deal under contract, right? Or securing good money. But anyways, generating leads and coming up with cool campaigns to try to find motivated sellers can be a really fun part of your business. So this is pretty much one of the funnest side of your business, but you have to systematize your campaigns, because your campaigns, although they're fun, they can be tedious, but they're also some of the easiest things that you can hire a virtual assistant, a marketing assistant, an intern, somebody to implement for you down the line, which is cool. All right, so let's keep it moving. You have your mindset in order. You're taking the next step. You understand the power of systems, and that everything you're doing after in your marketing department or all your departments is creating systems and processes for. And then you're saying, okay, time to generate leads. Here are 50 different campaigns I could be running, right? And you're going to start, and my rule is this: 1 campaign at a time. You run 1 campaign. There's no rush. Okay. There might be a rush, but I want you to make 1 campaign, systematize it, test it, get it out the door, move on to the next one. Most people get stuck in the lead generation movement campaign step because they try to do 4 campaigns at a time and get stuck and don't get any out. So that's why I have a rule: 1 at a time, period. Okay. And that's why, my whole back end with campaigns is systematized, where it's a daily thing. You focus on 1 category a day versus doing whatever every day. It creates a lot of discipline in you, so you can get out, different types of marketing every single day without much thought once you systematize it. But it creates consistency and discipline for you to get it out the door. All right, so let's finish up here. So after, you start generating leads, getting your campaigns out the door, the number 1 thing, this is how you truly grow. So I see a lot of people here, getting stuck right here in the lower part of the pyramid. Now, these next 2 steps are what really going to give you that confidence and freedom of time to really, really build your business. Metrics. If you're not measuring your lead generation or understanding the numbers that you need to have success in your marketing department, you will not be able, you're going to be wasting money. You're not going to be making good business decisions. You're going to be feeling overwhelmed because you just don't know what's working, what's not working. You might have an idea, but unless you're tracking how many direct mail pieces you're getting out the door, how many leads are coming in through the door, how many of these leads are you converting, how much did that cost you, how much did each lead cost you to generate, and what was your ultimate ROI? Those are 4 key numbers you just need to know. You can know a lot of other numbers, but the 4 major key metric numbers that you need to know is your response rate, how many leads are coming in your desk from each campaign, your conversion rate, how many of those leads did you convert into deals? Number 3, your cost per lead. And again, this is something that you can work with your bookkeeper as well. And finally, your ROI, your ultimate ROI, return on investment, with that campaign that you're running. Sometimes you're going to see like an 1,000x return because you're there, let's just say one free campaign that you spent 1 hour on could get you a lead that could make you $50,000, right? So that's the cool thing about tracking your marketing as well. You cannot skip this step, because if you skip this step, you're just, again, going to be stuck. You need to know your KPIs, your key performance indicating numbers, so you can make smart decisions. Because then where does that leave you? Right here, the gold standard of this Ascension pyramid. Hiring your MVPs, your most valuable players. Okay? If all of this, if you are building a good mindset, good systems, generating leads with your systems and tracking them, there is no reason why you should not be hiring people to do the majority of your work, where you're acting as the head of marketing, CMO, chief marketing officer, head of whatever you want to call yourself, right? President of whatever, VP president, whatever you want to call yourself. Okay. So these are the 5 major steps or roadmap, again, framework, what you want to call, to get to that ultimate CMO level, where the department's kind of running itself once you start building. And again, this could take 1 year, this could take 3 years, this could take 5 years, whatever it is. The key is to keep moving. You might be moving slowly, but as long as you keep moving forward and having a good mindset, a good systems, making sure you're creating systems for everything and getting your leads out the door and measuring them, then the hiring part will be easy, because you can plug anybody in and then you can manage them. And then you can do the big money making activity, which is what? Going and turning these leads into deals, getting leads, converting them to, deals, finding money for your business, financing money, right? Making sure your rehabs are on time and our budget, and then ultimately selling these projects. So you can do what? Make money. You see how marketing equals the money side of your business? It's so important for you to realize that. So I'm going to go to questions, see if there's any questions. If you have any questions, let me just turn this down. Let me see. Hold on. All right, I'm going to see if there's any questions here. I don't see any questions right now. If you do have any questions, let me know, comment below, do @Marina, and I'll make sure to answer that for you. Absolutely. Let me go over here and see, hold on, if there's any questions about the Ascension pyramid. All right, so the bottom line is this. I'm going to check while you're here with me. The bottom line is this. You have a choice. Is this going to be a business or a hobby for you? Okay. And the reality of the situation is, if it's a hobby for you, great. If that's what you want, great. Go for it. Amazing. A lot of people only want to do 1 to 4 deals a year. They don't want to make this into a business. But if this is a business you're looking to sell, or you're looking to, pass down to your kids, building it in the appropriate manner is so important. Okay. So, all right. So I don't see any questions. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you do have questions, feel free to comment at me below. I will see you next week. And if you have any questions, I have a new $1 million marketing. I haven't done this year, which is my 8 to 10 week, implementation immersion $1 million marketing program. That's coming either in the summer or the fall. I'm only doing it once a year, where you have full access to me 2 times a week. We go through every single one of these categories. We deep dive into them. You learn, how to set up your systems, what campaigns to run. I give you examples, all of my systems, templates, whatever, the metrics and the MVP, everything to do. You have an 8 to 10 week course where you're immersing yourself in, and then learning this side of the business. The number one thing I can say, especially with this market right now, is get your marketing house in order. Get your marketing house in order, because when whatever hits the fan, you want to be the first person people go to. All right. And you always want to be presenting your services in a way where people are eager to work with you. All right. So remember, get your marketing out the door, and I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.